When you talk about portals being opened up, I have talked to people who work there who say the same thing. They say that their job is to guard against what comes out of portals.
Switzerland, did you know this, Tony, is the home of the most underground bunkers in the world. In that little town, that little country of Switzerland, there are 375,000 plus underground bunkers. Ladies and gentlemen, the World Wide Web was invented at CERN.
What is CERN?
You're watching The Big Picture.
I want to talk about CERN though, and the realities of what is going on at CERN and what they're doing at CERN. Over the years, I've mentioned CERN on the show. We've done episodes on CERN, and you always tend to get different thoughts and things on what CERN is doing. I know you did a video on CERN, and I watched it, and it was one of the first times that I heard somebody talk about CERN that I like everything you were saying. I was like, yep, that's exactly how I feel about it. When you talk about portals being opened up, I have talked to people who work there who say the same thing. They say that their job is to guard against what comes out of portals. And so it's a very real thing. And I think CERN is the granddaddy of it all. So I want to kind of hand it over to you and give you just a very broad question, which you can take in any way you want and start it off any way you want, which is, what is CERN?
What is CERN? As much as, why is CERN where it's at? Okay. Well, okay. Well, I think that answer is dependent upon who you ask. If you ask someone in the scientific world, it's this, major scientific experiment colliding molecules and atoms, and this a collider, and it's helping us understand our origins. They recently, discovered what they believe would be the God particle in all of this, which was they believe just prior to the Big Bang. But for people like me and you and some others, and people who have talked to people who have been there, worked there, researched, people who've retired from there, I'm not doubting, just so you know right now, for the confessionals, viewers and listeners, I'm not doubting that these scientific experiments are going on. I'm not doubting that they're not performing things that are benefiting our scientific understanding. But the reality is this, to answer your question, I have to go back to not really what is CERN, as much as why is CERN where it's at? Okay, why was it built there? I mean, it is a big, big deal to me when you really start finding out where it's at and why that matters of what it's doing. And then you understand these people that are talking about ripping the veil, tapping into portals, opening up dimensions and so forth. Why is it important to know where it's at? Well, it is half of it's in Switzerland, half of it's in France, but Switzerland is the main reason it's there, because in Switzerland, you have Geneva, Switzerland. Geneva, Switzerland is, in my opinion, one of the most demonic portal places in the world. In fact, I believe that Switzerland, as crazy as it sounds, because when I was growing up as a kid, all I thought about was the Swiss Alps. And, that if I want to go to Switzerland one day and ski down those beautiful Alps, because all you ever saw was two things about Switzerland. You saw the beautiful Swiss Alps, and you always heard that they were neutral when it came to wars. They never, chose sides and all this kind of stuff. So you never really thought anything about Switzerland. But let me tell you something, Tony, the more and more I started looking into CERN, the more and more I began to get concerned about where CERN is. And I was like, oh my goodness, because you've got Geneva, Switzerland, which a little information about Geneva, Switzerland. Geneva, Switzerland is where hundreds of major organizations around the world, including the World Health Organization, including the World Bank Association, including next to New York, the biggest United Nations headquarters is where the Red Cross was formed. All of this happened in Geneva, Switzerland. Then on the other side of this little town, this little country called Switzerland, you've got Davos, which is where the World Economic Forum is, where the narrative of the world once a year, they all meet there, all the elite, and quite frankly, all the demonic people who's into depopulation, all kinds of things, the demonic agenda. They're both in this little country that supposedly is this innocent little Swiss Alp country. Another thing that you might be shocked to know about Switzerland, and then you got to understand, because where is CERN? CERN has got a little building up top, but where is CERN? It's underground, right? CERN, they have to go deep in the ground to do these things. Like the one that's in Nashville, there's one near Chicago, and I don't know if you know this, but they're building one now that is triple or quadruple the size of the actual CERN in Geneva in China. And now Geneva just put forth a proposal, CERN did, in Geneva, to build another. Did you know that? CERN in Geneva. Did you know that? In Switzerland. They've already submitted it. I did a show on it. They've got it. They've got the diagram. And get this, Tony, the CERN that they're building, that they've already set the money aside to build, it is absolutely happening, is bigger than the whole country of Switzerland. It circles almost all of Switzerland and then goes into France as well. So here's my question. I'm getting on the rabbit trail here. Switzerland, did you know this, Tony, is the home of the most underground bunkers in the world. In that little town, that little country of Switzerland, there are 375,000 plus underground bunkers in Switzerland. What? 375,000 plus underground bunkers. It is military, it is corporations, and you can watch videos on YouTube. It's very easy to find, where people, almost every home in Switzerland has an underground bomb shelter in their house, and many of them are connected. One guy went in and showed a video of one that was, I don't know when it was created, around World War II time. It was big enough to handle tens of thousands of people. He walked in one underground shower that was a big enough shower for 250 men to shower in that one shower. And there's beds, there's kitchens, there's underground generators all over the nation of Switzerland. And when I begin to find this out, I begin to say, oh, okay, there's more to this. There's more to this. Now, you stop me anytime, brother, because when I get going, it's hard for me to stop. Okay. So as I'm looking at, to understand CERN, you got to go underground. And then you understand, when you start looking at Switzerland, you start seeing, brother, there's videos out there. And like I said, all this is easy to find. This is not conspiracy. This is fact. That when the train tunnels were cut through the mountains, they have satanic rituals where they pray to demons and celebrate demons to dedicate these temples, these tunnels in Switzerland. But here's the interesting thing, and then I'll pause and take a breath here to answer the question, what is CERN? We'll delve into that a little bit further. But what a lot of people don't realize is right towards the end of World War II, right when Hitler knew that he was not going to make it, he began to understand this is not, my dream's not going to happen. It is a fact that he was about to enter into Switzerland and take Switzerland, but Switzerland made a deal with Hitler that we will, and by the way, also, let me back up real quick. Not only has it got underground bunkers, but all of the Swiss Alps are full of hidden cannons. If you take drones and you fly through there, they're made to look like rocks, and behind these rocks are cannons. And they built all of these thinking that they were going to be attacked by Hitler. Well, Hitler made a deal with Switzerland. And what happened was, that's why all the Swiss banks, people start sending their money there, because it's a secret way of storing money there. And many of those underground vaults store the money. But all of Hitler's money, he sent to Switzerland. And they put it in underground bunkers. But here's the thing. Here's why CERN is so demonic. Here's why they chose this place underground. Many of those 375,000 plus underground bunkers are still active and are still storing many of Hitler's occultic materials that he had. He was heavy into the occult, and they took them out with his possessions. And many people believe that they are still stored deep within the ground of Switzerland. So when you build CERN underground, you're already tapping into a tapestry that is underneath the ground, that is saturated with demonic materials already, and the occultic proclamations of probably the most evil man that's ever existed, Hitler. His stuff is still underground. So I believe that just sort of gave them a hotbed place to build, to disguise it as scientific, but also because of what is going on in that nation and underground and the things that are stored there, gave them an open door, the occult realm, to tap into portals. And many, many people have believed that they have ripped the veil, and they have beings have come in and gone. And as I've heard on your show, human beings are even being taken into other dimensions as well. Woo! All right.
Yeah. It's
what an answer to what is CERN. But it wasn't that long ago when I found this out myself, because it's sort of a hidden in plain sight secret. You know, the question is, who invented the internet? Well, you know, it's Al Gore. Of course, it's Al Gore. No, it's not Al Gore. Al Gore claimed that he invented the internet, but he did not invent the internet. In fact, the internet was invented as a military tool. But the World Wide Web, did you know was invented at CERN? It was invented at CERN, Tony. The World Wide Web was invented by a British programmer in the bottom of when they were building CERN. He needed a way for scientists to communicate. All you have to do is go to Google and say, who invented the World Wide Web and where was the World Wide Web invented? And Google will tell you it was invented at CERN. So you think about this nation, you've got CERN who's building this in-ground collider and for scientific purposes, but yet the most powerful world-altering invention, we're using it right now, is the browser. The ability to take that data and put it in a browser and communicate with each other, show pictures and all of that, was invented at CERN in Geneva, Switzerland. So then you think about, it's called the web. He called it the web. Well, think about a web. When you really want to go down that rabbit hole, you know, a spider makes a web not to kill you, but to trap you. And then you get trapped in the web, and the more you fight, the more it just wraps you more around you. And then eventually you give up, and then the spider comes in and gets you. So you start really putting that, like you said, 1 + 1 = 2 together. You got Geneva. You got all the global companies in the world that are based there in Geneva. Listen to this. The World Health Organization, the World Trade Organization, the World Banking Organization, 33 international organizations, global organizations are headquartered in one little town of Geneva, Switzerland. And right beneath all of these world powers is CERN. And at the base of that, the World Wide Web was invented. And then you got Davos on the other side declaring the narrative and the tool to push the narrative, to program the whole world to line up with the agenda of the underground demons, was invented at CERN. Come on, y'all. Switzerland, you got some explaining to do. Here's the thing that you've never heard before. The ability to browse the web. Okay? Everybody say that with me, the web. Because people don't use that term anymore. We call it the internet. But when it first came out, it was called the World Wide Web. Okay? You remember that? The ability to browse the web. And that's what the web is. The internet is the delivery method. It is the system that delivers all this data. But the browser on your phone or on your computer that you use to type in youtube.com or to scroll through the app using the internet, all of them have a version of a browser built in it, which basically decodes the computer language and allows you to browse the World Wide Web. That term has been dropped, but that's what it is. Now, who invented the internet? Well, some of you think it was Al Gore, okay? It wasn't Al Gore, okay? Even though he took credit for it back when he was running for president. For some reason, he wanted to say that he invented the internet. He did not invent the internet. And contrary, the World Wide Web is what we're talking about. Contrary to what you probably have been told, the World Wide Web was not invented by the military. It was not invented by the military of the United States, which many people believe that it was. Ladies and gentlemen, the World Wide Web was invented at CERN. What? Yes, the World Wide Web was invented at CERN. The very first website at CERN and the world was dedicated to the World Wide Web project itself and hosted on a man named Berners-Lee on his computer that was an IBM computer called the Next Computer. In 2013, CERN launched a project to restore the first ever website. They went back and they found the code and they rebuilt it. What were they rebuilding? They were rebuilding a moment that happened in the labs of CERN in the nation of Switzerland on April 30th, 1993. So basically, listen to what I'm saying when it comes to CERN. We just think that CERN, the legacy of CERN is they're colliding atoms and they're pursuing scientific research. Everything we know about everything. Listen to this. Everything we know now about everything, every way we find out about anything, came through the minds of CERN. Wow, CERN is insane, y'all. There is so much going on with CERN that the whole world doesn't really even think about or know about. And I wanted to do this highlight video from the two separate videos. Keep in mind, these are two separate videos. One is on Tony Merkel's program. It's had like 175, 180,000 views on the Confessionals podcast. It is linked down below. The other is an episode, a deep dive that I did about CERN a little while back that goes really deep into Switzerland and all of that. It's also linked down below. So I want you to go watch both of those programs and get some information about CERN and be looking for an upcoming episode very soon where we update you on the most recent information about CERN, portals, and so much more. So thank you for watching this. And I want to tell you something, for all those that are just now joining the Big Picture family, we have so many new people coming on board. We are so thankful that you're with us in the Big Picture family. If you've not already hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that now and share this. But we also want to let you know about what is going on our website. You need to go over there and check it out. And when you get there, I want you to go up to the top right-hand corner. It's very, very important, right next to the prayer request, which, by the way, send me your prayer request. If anything you need me to pray about, me and Sandy will pray about every single prayer request we get. But click on Get Your Free Gift. When you do that, you're going to come to a page here. All we need is your name and your email. You're going to join our email list, and you're going to get a free, no cost and no obligation other than just joining our mailing list, ebook that I made. It's a PDF. It's called The Burning Generation. So go there and connect with us and learn more about what it means to be a part of the generation that we're a part of. This is a privilege to be alive right now. If you'd like to donate and become a partner with us, we appreciate all of our partners. You guys are the ones that make this happen. You click on the donate button, you'll see we have 4 preset amounts there. You also have a box where you can choose your own monthly support or a one-time gift, or if you'd like to mail us a gift or prayer request, praise report, whatever, go to our website and do that. But don't forget to both of the shows that were highlighted in this program are linked down below. Go watch them and just, man, you're going to get some information that's going to blow your mind, and understand that we're going to come back pretty soon. Be looking for it for an updated edition on CERN. Thank you for joining the Big Picture today. And come on, let's grow the Big Picture family. And always remember, on this program, come on, maybe you're new, you hadn't heard this before. You can see it behind me. We ain't woke, but we certainly are awake. See you next time on the Big Picture. God bless.
The Big Picture Family. We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. Go to LarryRagland.com to give a one-time gift or become a monthly partner. Any amount blesses the entire Big Picture family. While you're there, pick up our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect on social media, and get on the Big Picture mailing list at LarryRagland.com. Join us and be a part of the Big Picture family, where we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.
You're watching The Big Picture. You're watching The Big Picture. You're watching The Big Picture.